Chama.
You guys, UFC 303 was a straight up movie. First and foremost, shout out to everybody that joined me for the Fight Companion. We made history having a clean sweep. I'm not talking about just official plays that were targeted. I'm talking about we picked every single fight correct for UFC 303. For those of you guys that actually understand how hard that is to do, you guys know what I'm talking about. And hopefully you guys are always keeping track of your overall picks for each card, and then keep track how long it takes you to hit a clean sweep throughout an entire card. I've done it a couple times. It's not easy to do. I'm telling you guys right now. So we profited in a major way. I'll quickly go over the bets that we targeted. This video is about what is next for Alex Pereira, who completely cements his name in the history books. This dude is one of the greatest of all time. He's one of the greatest strikers of all time, one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, and he's going to have an opportunity to do something that's never been done before in the octagon. Don't forget, now we are powered by BETUS. Sign up through the link in the description of this video. Get a 125% match on your first 3 deposits. And if you do that, do not forget to let me know so I could send you over that additional gift. I was on BETUS all last night. While I was on the Fight Companion, I was simultaneously dabbling on BETUS, and we were absolutely killing it, as you could imagine, picking every single fight right on the card. Obviously, we were bringing in money left and right. It was just such a great time, and I look forward to doing those Fight Companions more often, and I hope you guys come join me while I'm doing them. As promised, I will be doing Fight Companions a lot moving forward. Okay, guys, so note that. If you have nothing going on a fight night, you head over to the channel here and you join me for some fights, and we enjoy them together. All 3 of my official plays were on the main card, starting off with the first fight of the main card in Garry, who I targeted, caught him at -140 to take out MVP. You guys know I am very high on MVP. I still think he is extremely dangerous. I targeted him in his UFC debut over Kevin Holland, caught him at dog odds, gave that out as a free play here on the channel. So I do have a great deal of respect for MVP. It's just that I'm very high on Garry's skills, even more so, and I saw some value there, and it was a very close fight, but Garry showed to be the fighter that just had more tools to go to, right? At the end of the day, he wasn't getting the better of the striking exchanges, and I thought he would have held up better there, but you saw that he can go to his jiu-jitsu and was able to snag the back up there, and he definitely deserved to win the fight. In my opinion, it was a close one, but with the way that third round played out, he was kind of pulling guard there. He had a tight guard. MVP did no damage, and then Garry takes MVP's back for a little bit there to end that round. He takes that fight, so it was a close one, and I still think that MVP has a lot more noise to make in the UFC. I know he's 37 years old, but I still think you could put together some really fun fights with MVP still. And since the fight was so close, I don't think he really loses that much buzz. I think people are still very excited to see him perform. And I'll tell you who I want to see him fight right now. I know he's coming off of a loss. We're going to match up Garry and MVP for their next fights right now. So a fight that I think that would just be so beautiful to watch, and I don't know if it makes all of the sense. You guys can give me some feedback here. I really would love to see Jack Della Maddalena and MVP, 2 of the nastiest strikers in the game, facing off with each other. I mean, the other way you can go is you could say Stephen Thompson versus MVP. I could easily see the UFC doing that. Both fighters coming off losses, as Shavkat Rakhmonov just defeated Thompson. But Thompson's just getting up there in age. But hey, MVP's up there in age too, so that's a fight that makes a lot of sense, and it's probably more realistic, but I would really love to see how Jack Della Maddalena would look against MVP, because MVP has everybody freezing up on the feet, and Jack Della Maddalena's pressure is ridiculous. I would really want to see, could MVP stifle and freeze Jack Della Maddalena, but that's probably not going to happen. Maybe we see Shavkat versus Jack Della Maddalena next. As far as Garry, I really want to see Garry face Colby Covington. Dana White just said at the press conference that Colby Covington never declined that fight, and Colby never declines any fight. And Garry wants that fight, so I don't know what the UFC is waiting for. That's a fight that makes a lot of sense. And in that case, say Thompson versus MVP, then you match up Shavkat and Jack Della Maddalena, and then Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. That's, of course, coming up July 27th at UFC 304. All right, so that was the first official play, and do a little bit of matchmaking there. Roman Dolidze was a target of mine, a 3-unit play. This fight was was a crazy one, right, going into it, or this slot. Constant changes for this slot, and eventually we have two men that are training partners, have trained together in the past. They obviously had a great deal of respect for each other in there. Roman Dolidze was a step ahead, as I thought that he would have been, and I caught a nice little line on there, a line on him at -145, 3 units. I'll take that money all day. And Roman Dolidze is talking about he'll be fighting up at 100 and at 205 pounds, 206 pounds, whatever, at the light heavyweight division and the middleweight division. So I don't know how true that is. I don't know, maybe he really settles back into the middleweight division. I don't really think he wants to fight the legitimate light heavyweight fighters in the division there. So now listen, obviously Ortega didn't make the walk to the cage, but if you guys were with me for the fight companion, you cannot doubt it. It's all documented. I had Diego Lopez defeating Dan Ige. I gave my pick there, and he did come through, so that still continues that clean sweep there. And Diego Lopez and Dan Ige deserve to get slots on the event taking place at the Sphere that's coming up. They want fights on that card. I think they deserve it. Dana White already says that he's gonna bless them with that. So that's cool there. And what an intelligent move by Dan Ige to take that fight on such short notice. I mean, real short notice. I'm not talking about days notices. We're talking about like hours of time. Such a smart move. I talked about this in the Fight Companion yesterday. Some of these fighters should just go through the motions, through their careers. Yeah, they're all savages. They're all studs, but there's just so many studs in the UFC that you got to do something to really stand out. You take that opportunity. Now everyone will always look at Dan Ige in a different light. He had nothing to lose. In fact, it was a close fight, and stock goes up. It was a win-win situation. Such a smart move by Dan Ige. I love the fact that he was so persistent in saying he wanted that fight and made sure he got the opportunity, telling Hunter Campbell that he needed to make the walk to that fight. And great opportunity for Dan Ige. His name will carry a lot more weight moving forward. And Diego Lopez loses no stock. He's a stud as well for what he was doing leading up to this fight, willing to take anybody, different weight class, the movement of the weight and all that. He's a stud. And then up to the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Pereira, 5-unit play on Alex. Caught him at -140. I had multiple bets on him. Caught him at -145, 135. I had a couple different locked-in bets on him there, but all at a very low line, in my opinion. I thought there was great value on him. I love seeing that line trending towards Prohaska's way, or with the action coming in on Prohaska. Just a better value line for us on Pereira. You guys know I was very confident there. This was me and the Fight Companion. We were going nuts. We were jamming the bell. Also, they weren't official plays, but if you guys are with me on the live there, we targeted the under 1.5 rounds and under 2.5 rounds, which the under 1.5 was like at +135, 140. The under 2.5 was at -150. Okay, so great value there. We hit those as well. Everything just played out so perfectly for this event. This was one of the most epic cards that we've ever had. And what I want to see next for Alex Pereira, the legend, one of the greatest to ever do it, I want to see him first go out there and fight Magomed Ankalaev. I think that's a fight that makes so much sense. You look at the rest of this division. He already defeated Yuri Prohaska twice, already defeated Jan Blachowicz, already defeated Jamal Hill. Volkan Ozdemir starting to make some buzz here. These are the Tapology rankings. Rakic comes off a loss. Keep an eye on Khalil Roundtree on quite a win streak there, but has some things going on right now, and he's not even there yet. I mean, this division, it's really Carlos Ulberg as one of the dark horses, Volkan Ozdemir, who's having a late resurgence in his career, and then they're not there yet, though. Okay, they're not there, those two fighters. So the only fighter that makes sense for Alex Pereira, and it's not just it makes sense, because we're going to talk about him going up to the heavyweight division in a second. It's not that it just makes sense because he's the only one there. No, it makes all the sense in the world because it's a fight that has to be fought. Magomed Ankalaev is essentially undefeated. He made that one mistake where he was subbed with the second left in that round, and he's the most well-rounded fighter in the division, in my opinion. Will Alex Pereira be able to crack him up on the feet and get a finish there? I want to see. I want to find out how that plays out. So that fight has to happen. I'm already hearing that Alex Pereira welcomes that opportunity and that challenge. He wants to prove that he can handle himself against a high-level grappler. And I want to see that fight so bad. After Alex Pereira, if he can go out there and defeat Magomed Ankalaev, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I got to really crunch some tape there, man. But I'm still leaning Magomed Ankalaev, but not confidently. Not nearly as confidently as I would have been a while back. Okay, but let's say Alex Pereira gets the job done he is deserving of fighting up in the heavyweight division and getting an opportunity to be a 3-weight class champion. All right, a 3-time champion as far as bouncing from the middleweight division to the light heavyweight division to the heavyweight division. He'd be the first UFC fighter to have ever done that. I mean, just cementing his name and legacy even more so. And he deserves that opportunity, man. This guy is becoming a huge star in the game. He delivers for the fans. He's willing to take short notice fights. I mean, he's a fan favorite. He has one of the most exciting fighting styles in the game. I want to see him fight Magomed Ankalaev first. If he gets past Magomed, I want to see him go up to the heavyweight division. And, just to kind of talk about who he would be fighting, who he would potentially be fighting. I'll let you guys know right now. I just want to pull up the heavyweight rankings. We'll just slide over to Martin Buday, who had a horrible performance against Arlovsky, snuck off a split decision, but it will get us over to the heavyweight division. Check it out. Tom Aspinall will be taking on Curtis Blades at UFC 304, an event we were just talking about. Tom Aspinall is going to finish Curtis Blades in the first round, at the minimum the second round. Remember, I told you guys that. After he finishes Curtis Blades, Tom Aspinall, he's the real deal. He's the real legit champ of the heavyweight division. Obviously, John Jones and Stipe Miocic have something going on. Hopefully, they finally step into the cage. But we really can't trust those fighters to be around, and I can't even trust either of them to even take that opportunity against Pereira. So I'll say this much. I think Stipe Miocic, if he got a win against John Jones, which I'm not sure if he will, but I think he may welcome that opportunity more so. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe Jones steps up. And if that's the case, yes, I would love to see Jones versus Alex Pereira. But if we're going to play games there and it's going to be this thing that takes forever and we're not playing around no more, we know that Tom Aspinall will step up and he will take on Alex Pereira. And for us, not even hardcore fans, because this isn't hardcore talk here, but for us that really know what's going on right now, we know Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira is about as high level as it gets in the octagon. We would be going crazy for that fight. It would be an absolute legacy fight. That's the fight that I want to see. All right. So that's what I want to see next for Alex Pereira. All right. I want to see Alex Pereira take on Magomed Ankalaev and then get an opportunity to fight up at the heavyweight division, whether it's against John Jones, Stipe Miocic, Tom Aspinall. Those are the 3 names there. Any one of those names works, okay? Because those are all huge names. It's not just, he's going up to the heavyweight division. I mean, it's an iconic type of fight against any 3 of those, depending on how things play out. Sorry, but Curtis Blades, if he sneaks one off against Aspinall, that fight is not going to happen regardless. But Curtis Blades, not my respect towards Blades' way, but just doesn't have the name power there. Aspinall's on the verge of becoming a star in the game. All right, guys? So that's what's next for Alex Pereira. In my opinion, you guys, again, we hit a crazy clean sweep. If you guys are following me on IG at MMA Fortune Teller _, you guys saw me having a blast, just running around, just having fun on the camera, joking around, but enjoying bringing in the profits. You guys know it's not easy to profit. Every single card, there's going to be tough cards that come around. So when you have amazing cards like this, you really have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the money coming in.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
It was really enjoyable to see a lot of you guys, especially ones that I work with and whatnot, that made money and did good. And I love the comments you guys gave. It made me happy to see you guys enjoying the card there and hitting nice in the event as well. So, and everyone that joined me for the Fight Companion, I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys know you're going to have a lot of content coming your guys' way all the time and all week. So you guys know what time it is, man. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Appreciate all you guys. Signing out. Teller.
Welcome to the show. This the MMA Fortune Teller. Yeah.
The MMA Fortune Teller.
The teller.